What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. Now, last night, I don't know if you guys caught it, but we witnessed an historic event, folks, or at least that's what it was called. But essentially, we were brought back in time. We were listening to the radio on X. That's right. Elon Musk and Donald Trump had a conversation. That was it. However, it got 1.3 million concurrent views and is currently sitting at like 26 million views. It's outright insane. The buzz that has been generated around this thing, they're talking about over 1 billion different hits on this thing, like different tweets referencing this, people actually looking it up, talking about it, blah, 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 blah. The left was pissed. The left was outright pissed, and that's what we're covering today. As a matter of fact, Kamala Harris put out this. Check this out. This is from the Harris campaign, officially. Right now, Elon Musk is interviewing Donald Trump live on Twitter. We're not calling it X. Okay, go ahead and whinge a little bit for me if you don't mind. Like, why? Why are you calling it Twitter? It's not Twitter anymore. I know we still mess up sometimes and call it Twitter. I do it all the time. But come on now, you know it's called X. This isn't a mess up. You intentionally said we're not calling it Twitter. Why? I want to know what the reasoning behind this is. This is funny to me. It's not enough that Musk has pledged to donate millions of dollars to help re-elect Trump. He's using his purchased platform, one of the largest social media sites in the world, to spread Trump's unhinged and hateful agenda to millions of users. Huh? What do you mean, unhinged? Hateful agenda? Who does Trump hate, except for the Kamala Harris team, right? He doesn't hate anybody. As a matter of fact, he wants to make America great again. He's trying to make the country better, bring back manufacturing, secure our southern border, get rid of some of these criminal aliens that you guys, the left, have brought into this country illegally, by the way. Otherwise, let us remind you why this is a big deal. The richest person in the world is a lackey for Team MAGA. Musk already ruined Twitter by allowing hate speech and disinformation to flood the platform. Now Musk is using his vast fortune and broad reach to try to control our democracy. That is right. He is trying to control your democracy and put it in the garbage can because nobody wants your democracy. We want democracy for everybody. We want a free and fair election where nobody cheats, where criminal aliens aren't voting. And by the way, Kamala Harris, none of the voters that are going to vote for Kamala Harris will ask this or even much less think about this. Who decides what is mis and disinformation and what is the line? I would love to ask her this in person. What is the line between mis and disinformation and opinion? Because as far as I know, Twitter or X, see, I did it too. X, you can go on there and speak your opinion. You don't like something, you don't like vaccines? Hey, you can get on there and say whatever the hell you want to about vaccines. That's your opinion. You are not the USDA. You are not the FDA, for crying out loud. You are not the CDC. You are just a person. So if you want to get on there and spew whatever the hell you want to say, that is your First Amendment right. And as a matter of fact, Twitter has the ability, X has the ability to put a community note right next to that. So any mis and disinformation can be remedied, right? They can plop a warning sign right next to it and say, hey, this is an opinion. This is not official news or official anything. Somebody's opinion. That's the freedom of speech that we all love, that the left hates. They love freedom of speech for themselves, but when you have a differing opinion, they don't like it for you guys at all. And I promise we're going to get into a story. But I just wanted to get that little rant out of the way because I find it disgusting that these people would get on here and pose as the authority figures to tell you what mis and disinformation is, what you can and cannot say, what hate speech is, by the way, because there is no outright definition for hate speech, because I could say something about me disliking the fact that they made frogs gay. And that could be considered hate speech because I dislike that. And hate and dislike are essentially the same thing. One is just a little bit more extreme than the other one. I know that might be a ridiculous take, and I'm not serious about that. I don't think the frogs are gay, but I mean, that's just kind of clowning on Alex Jones there a little bit. But let's go ahead and get into the story right quick, because these people have lost their freaking minds, y'all. Lost their minds. And now bear with me, because it's going to take a second to actually get into the insanity. Trump returning to X for a live interview with platform owner Musk. Sounds innocuous, right? Sounds really innocuous. Most people ain't going to read this just because of that headline. Because why? What's the point? I'll tell you the point. The few people that will. Donald Trump is returning, at least for one night, to do a live interview Monday on X, the platform from which he was banned for nearly 2 years following the January 6, 2021 storming of the U.S. Capitol. Trump and Elon Musk, X's owner, are slated to have what the tech titan has termed a live conversation at 8 p.m. Eastern Time that will be unscripted with no limits on subject matter, so should be highly entertaining. Musk is soliciting X users to pose their own questions. The conversation serves not only as a way for the former president to reach potentially millions of voters directly, which he did, it's also an opportunity for X, a platform that relies heavily on politics, to redeem itself after some struggles. I wonder what they mean by that. After some struggles. I wonder if they're talking about the cartel of advertisers that pulled their advertisements from X because he allows freedom of speech on his own platform. Yeah, that is right. We knew about that. A bunch of advertisers pulled from X. It was outright insane, all because he wants free speech. Just because Musk bought the platform and allowed people to speak their voice, right? No rule changes, really. You just less banning of people for things they say, for their opinions. It's insane to me. X has already been the scene of some of the 2024 cycle's most memorable moments. As he skipped the first GOP presidential debate in August, Trump launched counter-programming of his own, appearing in a taped interview with former Fox News Channel host Tucker Carlson, which aired on X last month. President Joe Biden broke the news of his departure from the campaign in a letter posted to the platform. Also notably, in May 2023, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis used the platform as a way to officially announce his presidential bid, a disastrous rollout marred by technical glitches, overloaded by the more than 400,000 people who tried to dial in. The coming chat also prompted a cautionary response from Europe. Thierry Breton, a French business executive and commissioner for internal market of the European Union, warned Musk of possible amplification of harmful content by broadcasting his interview with Trump. Right? Like predicting that there's going to be some sort of harmful content? Like, Please describe that for me. I would like to know what you think this would entail. A simple conversation between a presidential candidate and a social media platform owner in a totally different country. How is anything going to be harmful, right? The corporate press has put out this narrative that Trump is some unhinged, just insane maniac, madman that goes on these rants about hating on everybody. However, that is not the truth. But it doesn't stop them from lying constantly about Donald Trump. But it gets better, folks. In a letter posted on X, Breton urged Musk to ensure X's compliance with EU law, including the Digital Services Act adopted in 2022 to address a number of issues, including disinformation. Once again, I would really love who decides what is mis and disinformation, because we know for a fact the government lies a lot. So, can we trust the government to tell us what is mis and disinformation? Let me know down in the comments section. In a statement, Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung urged the EU to mind their own business instead of trying to meddle in the U.S. presidential election. He said the EU was an enemy of free speech and has no authority of any kind to dictate how we campaign. That is right. He is absolutely correct. That technically, what they're trying to do here is interfere in the United States election process. They're interfering in democracy, but not their democracy. They're not interfering in their democracy whatsoever. Their democracy is killing itself really good all on its own with their lies, their manipulations, all of that. But it gets better, like I said. Musk, who has described himself as a Democrat until a few years ago, endorsed Trump's candidacy 2 days after the former president was wounded during an attempted assassination at a Pennsylvania rally last month. Yeah, you want to know why? Poke at that there for a second. You want to know why he was a Democrat and is no longer a Democrat? Because imagine Musk standing here and, the Democrat spectrum, like right here. Okay, so the Democrat spectrum has now moved to way over here. And it goes from over here to way over there. It's totally off the map. You can't even see it. Right? Musk hasn't changed his views whatsoever. And I got some proof for that. Check this out. Long before he endorsed Trump, Musk turned increasingly toward the right in his posts and actions on the platform, also using X to try to sway political discourse around the world. Not true. He hasn't gone anywhere. People, once they get past a certain age, generally they're set in their ways. We know that. People get set in their ways pretty much since they're adults. They don't change drastically overnight. Right? Musk didn't change his political leanings to the right over a very short period of time. No, as a matter of fact, he didn't. It's the left going outright insane. Open borders, transing the kids, abortion. Of course, they've had that one for a while. But it's just thing after thing after thing. It's like more and more and more insanity. They just keep piling it on and digging their grave a little bit more. He's gotten in a dust-up with a Brazilian judge over censorship, railed against what he calls the woke mind virus, and amplified false claims that Democrats are secretly flying in migrants to vote in U.S. elections. That's a lie. That's an outright lie. Those two claims are totally separate. And as a matter of fact, those two claims are absolutely true. And we know that for a fact. I've covered both of them on this channel. But see what they're trying to do? They're trying to compress two claims. Like, why would they fly in migrants to vote in elections? That's stupid. But, however, we have covered on the channel that the Biden administration is absolutely flying in migrants. And they are absolutely registering these people to vote in local elections. That's absolute truth. This can all be Google searched, by the way. Or, if you want to, and it would be greatly appreciative to me, go check it out on my channel. I've got those stories. Musk has also reinstated previously banned accounts such as the conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, right? Like, as if conspiracy theorist is a profession. No, Alex Jones is a political commentator, not a conspiracy theorist. A political commentator that also dabbles a little bit in conspiracy theories, which, by the way, Alex Jones does have a pretty good track record for pointing out quote-unquote conspiracy theories that turn out to be actual conspiracies. Yeah, several of them. He is the first one that started talking about Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein Island, the gay frogs stuff. As a matter of fact, we found out all of that was true. And Trump, who was kicked off the platform, then known as Twitter, 2 days after the January 6th violence, with the company citing the risk of further incitement of violence, which is insane because he told these people to be peaceful. Go home. We are the party of law and order. That's why they kicked him off. They deleted that off of X, off of Twitter at the time, right? Telling people to be peaceful. because that's not the message they wanted to portray. But we know all this. We know all this BS. Let's keep going. By November 2022, Musk had bought the company and Trump's account was reinstated, although the former president refrained from tweeting until Monday, insisting that he was happier with his own Truth Social site, which he launched during the ban. Hours ahead of his interview with Musk, Trump posted a 2.5-minute video to his X account featuring a video from his time in office, as well as audio of him saying one of his standard campaign lines referencing the legal cases that have mounted against him. They're not coming for me, they're coming after you. I just so happen to be standing in the way, and I will never be moving. But Trump's audience on X is legions larger than on Truth Social, which became a publicly traded company earlier this year. Trump has just over 7.5 million followers on Truth Social, while his mostly dormant X account is followed by 88 million. Musk's account, which will host the interview, has more than 193 million followers. Trump's campaign didn't immediately respond to a message as to whether he would cross-post his interview with Musk via his own account, including on X. Yeah, so this is just getting outright insane. They're actually threatening to arrest Elon Musk. I read a headline the other day. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and post it right here. Headline: UK police chief says he's going to arrest Elon Musk for promoting hate speech online. Like, what? Like, this whole hate speech thing really aggravates the crap out of me because there's no definition. They can't give a definition of it. If you misgender somebody, they consider that hate speech. I'm sorry, that falls under free speech. And hate speech, to me, doesn't exist. Because, one thing, a call for violence, which was what you would think hate speech is, call to violence, yeah, that's not speech. That's a call for action. That's illegal, by the way. You can't do that. So anything that I would consider hate speech, which would be a call to violence, is illegal. So all this hate speech, misgendering somebody as hate speech, or saying something about, I don't like criminal aliens just pouring into my country like they're doing, they would consider that hate speech. That's insane. That's outright insane if you ask me. But once again, that's another position coming from the left. But they're just going outright crazy in my head, right? Just reading all the news that I read, seeing all these stories, story after story after story of something that's just outright insane, if you ask me. And they're whinging about it constantly. And now they're trying to blame Elon Musk because he wants to bring freedom of speech back, right? He has a horde of moderators that go through and put community notes on posts. Anytime somebody says something that's not true, you're trying to state it as a fact, you'll get a community note right there saying, oh, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. So, honestly, I don't see a problem with that. I don't see these people's problem with that, right? Logic dictates that this is how you fix a situation like that. When you have people just saying whatever the hell they want, you have the moderators on the platform come through with the truth, a community note saying, hey, this isn't true. I don't see why they would have a problem with anybody saying anything, because once again, once you get into what would be considered hate speech, that's a call to violence. That's illegal. You can be arrested for that. Anything outside of calls to violence isn't hate speech, y'all. So, what is their motivation behind this? Yep, they want to make the right, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, X, all this, look evil. That's all they're trying to do. It's all for political brownie points. It's a threat to our democracy. You hear them say it all the freaking time. It's a threat to our democracy. Our democracy. Yeah, right. Your democracy, I don't want nothing to do with it. Because we know they're not talking about the Webster's definition of democracy. They're talking about them being in power. The establishment. The Uniparty in Washington, D.C. The EU, for crying out loud. These people don't like freedom of speech. They don't like people saying the truth. That's what they don't like, because it blows apart their narrative. And when they can't spin and weave their little narrative however the hell they want to, it's bad for them, because they get called out on their BS. They get called out on their lies. They get called out for being the snake in the grass, backstabbing assholes. I'll go ahead and curse a little bit on here. That they are. That's what they are. And they don't want you knowing the truth because it hurts them politically. That's what this whole motivation is. Trump hurts them politically because they know he's a populist candidate, and if you allow him to speak, he might actually change some people's minds because his platform is pretty good. It changed my freaking mind. I'm not gonna lie. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Are these people just whinging because it's an actual threat to their democracy? We don't want their democracy. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. Y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.